My name is Ava Sinclair. I'm 28 now. 13 years ago, during a storm so loud it shook our windows, my father looked me dead in the eyes and said, "Get out. I don't want a broken daughter." I was 15, drenched, shaking, and I had nowhere to go. The reason? My little sister told one lie, one perfectly crafted lie, and my parents believed her like it was scripture. 3 hours later, the same parents got a call from the hospital. I'd been hit by a car. When my father rushed into that room, he froze. Because sitting beside my bed wasn't a nurse. It was Dr. Marin Caldwell, the most respected university dean in the state. And last month, I stood on stage as the keynote speaker at my sister's graduation. My parents had no idea I was coming. Before I tell you what happened when they saw me, hit like and subscribe, but only if this story earns it. And tell me where you're watching from and what time it is there. Now, let me take you back. In our house, my sister Lila's tears always weighed more than my achievements. When I was 11, I won first place at the regional science fair. I ran home with the ribbon, heart pounding, thinking, maybe today they'll be proud. Mom hugged me. That's wonderful. Then Lila walked in from dance practice, face red, eyes wet. I messed up my turn. Everyone laughed, she cried. Mom's arms left me like I'd turned invisible. Oh, baby, come here. I stood there holding that ribbon, while nobody asked to see it. That's how it always was. If Lila was sad, I had to shrink. If I was proud, it had to be quiet. By 14, I stopped sharing report cards. Straight A's didn't compete with Lila's bad day. And then came the summer program, an elite science camp. Full scholarship. 2 weeks with researchers. Dad barely looked up. Nice. Lila didn't cry that time. She did something worse. She whispered, "If you go, you're leaving me. You don't love me." Mom sighed like I was the problem. "Ava, maybe skip it. Your sister needs you." I didn't go. That's when I learned, in that family, love was a competition. And Lila always played to win. Lila's lies started small. She'd borrow my things, deny it, even with my sweater on her bed. Mom, Ava, don't start fights. Then money went missing. $50 from Mom's wallet, Lila said. I saw Ava near the purse. Dad called me into his office like a judge. Did you steal from your mother? No. Lila says you did. The truth didn't matter. I lost my phone. Lost privileges. Lost trust. And the worst part? When my parents weren't looking, Lila smiled. That's when I understood the rules. Lila could accuse. I could only defend. And defending yourself all the time makes you exhausted, makes you quiet, makes you easy to destroy. I spent more time at the library. I told myself just survive till college. But the breaking point didn't wait for college. It came with a storm. And a boy. There was a guy in my AP chemistry class, Noah. He wasn't my boyfriend. He wasn't even my crush. He just needed help studying. We stayed after class twice. That's it. But Lila had been obsessed with him for months. The kind of obsession where she rehearsed her future last name in her notebook. One day Noah said at my locker, "Thanks for helping. You're really smart. Want to study together for midterms?" I said yes, library. I turned and saw Lila watching. Her face wasn't sad. It was blank, like she was calculating. That night at dinner, she barely touched her food. Mom kept asking if she was okay. Lila just said, "I'm fine. Just tired." Silence from Lila was never peace. It was a warning. That same week, we had a guest speaker at school, Dr. Marin Caldwell from the State University. After her lecture, I stayed to ask questions. She looked at me and said, "You're brilliant. Don't let anyone dim you." She handed me her card. I had no idea. She was about to become my lifeline. Friday night, the storm hit hard. Rain like fists against windows. Wind screaming down the street. Around 8 p.m., I heard Lila crying downstairs. Then Dad's voice, sharp. "Ava, come here, now." My stomach dropped. I walked down slowly. Lila was on the couch, buried in Mom's shoulder, sobbing like her heart was breaking. Dad stood with arms crossed, face red. "What's going on?" I asked. Dad pointed. "Tell her." Lila looked up at me with tears, and something cold behind them. "Why do you hate me?" she cried. "What? Why are you telling everyone I'm disgusting? That I'm a liar? That I cheated? That I never said that." Lila pulled out her phone. "Then explain this." Screenshots, group chat messages, my name, my picture, vile things, things I would never write. "I didn't send those," I said. "Someone's using my account." Dad's voice cracked like thunder. "Stop lying." "I'm not lying." Then Lila whispered, "And Noah?" My heart sank. "You knew I liked him," she said. "And you still flirted. You stayed after class. You met him at the library." He asked for study help. Lila stood, then pulled up her sleeve. A bruise, dark, ugly. She pushed me, Lila sobbed. On the stairs. I stared. I never touched you. Mom's voice turned quiet, disappointed. Ava, this is serious. Dad stepped forward. What is wrong with you? I didn't do this. She's lying. Dad's eyes hardened. Enough. The storm shook the house. He pointed at the door. Get out. My mouth opened. No words came. Dad, it's storming. I don't care. Mom didn't stop him. She didn't even look at me. Dad said the words that burned into me forever. I don't want a broken daughter in my house. I grabbed my jacket, hands shaking so hard I couldn't zip it. The door slammed behind me. And through the window, I saw Lila, not crying, smiling. The rain hit me like a wall, cold, heavy, violent. I called friends, no answers. Battery 9%. I walked toward the bus station. Headlights appeared at an intersection. Too fast, too close. Horn, screech, impact. My body flew. The world spun. I hit the pavement and everything went white. Then a voice, panicked, sharp. Don't move. Don't move! Hands on my shoulder. What's your name? The woman asked. Ava, I whispered. Parents' number? I swallowed blood. They don't want me. The woman froze. Sirens grew louder. You're going to be okay, she said, but her voice shook. I promise. Then darkness. When I came to, I heard beeping machines and a calm voice. She has a concussion. Possible internal bleeding. She stays. I'm staying too, another voice said. A nurse asked, Are you family? No, the woman replied. I'm Dr. Marin Caldwell, and I'm the one who hit her. Then my parents arrived. My daughter, Dad said. Dr. Caldwell's voice turned ice cold. She's 15. Why was she alone in a storm? Dad hesitated. Discipline. Dr. Caldwell repeated it slowly. Discipline. Then she said, loud enough to cut through the room, Your daughter told me you called her broken and threw her out. Silence. My father tried to argue. Dr. Caldwell didn't blink. She called a social worker. And that night, my parents lost control of the story. My parents visited once, stood at the foot of my bed like strangers. No apology, no explanation. Just discomfort. Dr. Caldwell came every day. Books, warm meals, quiet, steady presence. A social worker asked me if I wanted to go back. I looked at the ceiling and realized home wasn't a place. Home was safety. I don't want to go back, I whispered. Dr. Caldwell said, She can stay with me. That's how I left my old life. And that's how my real life began. 13 years later, I built a scholarship program for students from unstable homes. It expanded to multiple universities. Media covered it. Then an email came. Keynote speaker request. Riverside State graduation. Riverside State, my sister's university. My hand shook. Dr. Caldwell sat across from me at dinner and asked, What do you want? I said, Truth. So I accepted. Graduation day, I walked onto the stage and saw Lila clapping, smiling, until she looked up. Her hands froze mid-applause. Recognition hit her like a slap. Behind her, my mother and father were still clapping, not realizing yet. Then I spoke. I want to tell you about a 15-year-old girl who was thrown out in a storm because her family believed a lie. My father's head jerked up. Mom's hand flew to her chest. Then I said, That girl was me. The room went dead silent. And my parents finally realized the daughter they discarded had become the woman everyone was applauding. After the ceremony, my parents begged to speak. Dad looked older, smaller. Mom cried. We didn't know. I replied calmly, You never asked. Lila stood behind them, eyes red. I'm sorry, she whispered. I was jealous. I looked at her and said the only truth that mattered. I forgive you for my peace. Not for yours, but I don't want you in my life. My father choked out, Can we fix this? I shook my head. You had 13 years to fix it. You chose comfort over truth. Then I turned to Dr. Caldwell, my real family, and walked away. People ask me if I regret that storm. I don't, because it showed me who my family was. And who my family wasn't. Blood didn't make a family for me. Choice did. Consistency did. Showing up did. So if you're watching this and you've been made to feel too much, too broken or unwanted, listen to me. You're not hard to love. You were just in the wrong hands. Thanks for listening. If this story hit you, like and subscribe, and tell me your city and time. Because I want to know how far this message traveled.